Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or if you're like me on the other side of the world, to most of you, good night and welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song. And so lovely to have all of you here. I'm tuning in from my new home in Kuilapalyam in India, and so great to welcome all of you. Let's wave hello to the live stream. Hello, live stream. Hope you're having a lovely day. And to everyone in the room, to Pauline in Newcastle, to Susan in Cincinnati, to Arlene in Berkeley, hello. To Laris coming in from the UK, hello. To Sue in Seattle, hello. To Kathy in Colorado, to Benny in Berkeley, and to Diane in Massachusetts, Ruth in Birmingham, Caroline in DC, hello. Delhi in MD, in Maryland, Dory and Ollie, perhaps. Uh, Hello. To Deborah in Kentucky, Sheila in Florida, Bob in Albany, Gary in Massachusetts, Nancy coming in from Washington State, Elizabeth in California, Annette in California. Hello, hello. To Sandy in Western North Carolina, to Carolyn Wolf, hello. To Fred in Silver Spring, Aloysius in Massachusetts, to Mabel, Bob, and Bears, hi. To Hoda in BC, hello. To Jamie, hello. To Carolyn, Connecticut, hello. To Joe, who is in the tech green room, although my walls are the green ones today, coming in from DC, hello. And a big hello of gratitude and welcome to our song leader for the day, Namvula, who most of us in the room are familiar with, coming in from Oxford in the UK. Namvula, what are we singing? Welcome back.
Thank you. It's nice to be on the other side of the room, on the other side of the stage. I don't know what you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so today I'm going to be sharing a song in my mother's language. It's a song that I wrote a very, very long time ago that's on my first album. But it's a song that we still play when we're touring and that I love very much. Um, you're getting a very acoustic, laid back rendition of it, but usually it's with the full band, so you have to imagine kind of like a really, a really groovy African drum beat behind it, and like some great guitars and a funky bass. But yeah, you're getting the very laid back, stripped back version today. It's a song called Maweo, and Maweo doesn't really mean anything. It's just like a word of lament. So if something terrible happens, we say Mawe like this. But the song is not really a song of lament. It starts off as a song of lament, but then moves on to, it's a song of like kind of like lamenting hopefulness, if that makes any sense whatsoever. It's written in my mother's tongue, which is called Lenje, which comes from the central part of Zambia, which is in the southern part of Africa, the south central part of Africa. We're a landlocked country. Um, and it's a very beautiful language. It's a language that I'm not fluent in. And when I was desperately trying to root myself more in my mum's culture, I started to write in her language in an attempt to become closer to her language. And so I'm going to sing a part of it that I'd love you to sing along to, which is the Maweo. In African languages, we have quite open vowels, so it's like ma, we, o. So we can try and say Maweo, and it's quite a good like mouth workout. And it's a very simple tune that repeats, and it goes like this. Maweo, 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 mawe. And that's it. So I'll sing that round a couple of times. It just repeats in that loop of 4 twice over. And then the last one, it says Maweo rather than Maweo, but it doesn't really matter if you say Maweo, it doesn't matter too much. And so I'll sing it a couple of times. And then there's a second section that I'd love you to join in if you feel like, but you're not obliged to. I'll teach you the word for that. And it's quite kind of self-evident I'll give you a nod when it comes up. And it just repeats, and it's quite a nice little thing to sing along to if you feel like joining in. But I'll play the Maweo bit again, and then I'll get started on the song. Here we go. Maweo, 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 Maweo. I'll repeat that again. Here we go. Maweo, 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 Maweo. And this third time we'll sing it, we'll start the song. Here we go. Maweo, 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 Maweo. Vanyoko, valira nyanyan chishila vanyomfa, kumilonga mumapiri mulundu, vakuyandola somi tabakuchani, somi tabakuchani. Vanyoko, valira nyanyan chishila vanyomfa, kumilonga mumapiri mulundu, vakuyandola somi tabakuchani, somi tabakuchani. Maweo, 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 Maweo. Koshili kuno, shanse shoyanda, koshili kuno, akwalo kuno, kulishi botu, akwalo kuno, uto chichila kuli, uto chichilanchi, chinch choyanda kuchana kuya, chinchi, chinch choyanda kuchana kuya, chinchi, mawe. Maweo, 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 Maweo. Lekankwambile, lekankwambile, shinte shishibo tulionse kuva sukumwi, nincho yandisha kuyaka wikalo ba umwi. Shinte shishibo tulionse kuva sukumwi, nincho yandisha kuyaka wikalo ba umwi. Bona koshili kuno shonse shoyanda bona, akwalo kuno kulishibo tu bona, koshili kuno shonse shoyanda bona, akwalo kuno kulishibotu, akwalo kuno kulishibotu. Mwana mwanangu, bona bona, mwana mukwesu, bona bona, mwana mwanangu, bona bona, mwana mukwesu, bona bona, mwana mwanangu, bona bona, mwana mukwesu, bona bona. And I realized I forgot to teach you the second word, which is bona. So I know it's written as a B, but we kind of say it like a hard V. So the word is bona, 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 bona. So bona mwanangu, bona, bona, bona mukwesu, bona, bona, bona mwanangu. You can sing bona, bona, bona mukwesu. You go bona, bona, bona mwanangu, bona, bona, bona mukwesu, bona, bona, bona mwanangu, bona, bona, bona mukwesu, bona, bona, bona mwanangu, bona, bona, bona mukwesu, bona, bona. Oh, 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 oh,
So take a breath and send some love back to Namvula for this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. Thank you for this.
Oh, thank you for all the hearts I'm seeing. Thank you.
Namvula, I was having a thought as you mentioned, and I was deeply moved by you saying that actually you're not fluent in this language, and I guess the song is a way of you reclaiming some part of this heritage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've always had a really, so I was born in Zambia and my parents moved away when I was very young, but it was the one, and they moved a lot while I was, quite a bit while I was growing up, but it was the one place that I would always go back to. And um, I've noticed, or myself and many others from Southern Africa, we've noticed that parents of a certain generation, and it kind of carries on now, were very bad at teaching their children their languages when they lived abroad. And you know, you really notice the difference with like Italians and Germans and Brazilians, who you know are so kind of they're almost very strict about you know their kids learning and very dedicated to their children learning their patrilineal or matrilineal languages, and we just don't have that. And so I grew up in this weird place where I was very kind of in between, where I would go home and feel really at home, but then go to family gatherings or like social gatherings, and everybody speaks English. But at some point, you know, it's like people will start telling jokes around the barbecue or whatever, and people will go into the local language, and I'm sitting there going, okay, I don't get it, you know. So I was always kind of like in but out.
Yeah.
And when I reached my 20s, I really kind of was curious about this feeling and also really felt a pull to try and connect myself and root myself more deeply. And so yeah, this me writing in these me writing these songs in my mum's language was a really conscious way of me trying to learn very late in the day and not very successfully, but you know the songs are lovely. And it's and yeah, so it was really a conscious attempt to feel more at home in somewhere, I think. And then at some point, after a couple of years of this process, I no longer felt that need. And so now I'll write in my mum's language when I want to, or if I feel like there's an emotion or a kind of sonic quality that English doesn't, or another language doesn't possess, and my mum's language possesses it. So I use it in a much more kind of like artistically free way, and have moved away from that real, like I really felt the need to write in my mum's language, and I'd sit there struggling and asking my mum for translations, and you know my mum would, it would be frustrating because my mum would like give me her interpretation of what I was trying to say. And then I'd have to be like rein her in and be like, no mom, like this is not what I'm trying to say, this is what I'm trying to say, and I need you to tell me what this is. And it's really difficult as well, I think, when you're writing lyrically and poetically, because certain languages are much more literal. And
Mm.
I think poetry is one thing that's very difficult to translate from one language to another language, because everything has its own cadence and its own way of framing the relationship between words. So it was also a really interesting process in that sense. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this. I mean, this resonates very deeply and very personally because um, I speak like six languages, including English. Uh, and that includes my mother and father tongue, but I can't think in any of those languages. Therefore, I can't write in any of those languages. One of the things that I do is I sing so many songs from everywhere, but none of those songs are really my own words. And something about you saying that despite you knowing a little bit of the language or not having full agency, you've plunged into writing. That's extremely moving, and thank you for that. And I think there are some resonances around the room as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting what you say. I was saying to somebody, yeah, we were reflecting on language and about how, unless we were remembering that phrase that or that saying that unless you dream in a language, you don't really know the language. Um, and I definitely have never dreamed in my mum's language, but at the same time, I feel like I occupy the dreamscape of my mother's space. So again, it's this really weird relationship of being like very feeling very inside a inside the space, but still being on the outside. So I guess it's like a reflection, really. My relationship with the language is exactly a reflection. Now that I'm speaking about it in this way, it was exactly the same reflection of being partly in and partly out. So yeah.
And you were mentioning just before everyone came into the room about the gorgeous meaning. Would you sort of tell us what the song means, and also which language is it? What's the universe, the known name of the language?
So the language is Chilenje or Lenge, and the song is basically it starts off as a lament from the perspective of a grandmother who's looking for her child. So the song says this grandmother's walking through the hills and through the valleys and past the river, crying to the stars, looking for her child, but her child can't be found. That's not a literal translation, but essentially that's what it's saying. And her child can't be found anywhere. Um, and then it basically it goes on to say, why are we always running elsewhere to build somebody else's home, to build somebody else's dream? Look, Bona means look at what is in front of you. Everything that you have always wanted, everything that you have always needed is right here in front of you. And I had mentioned to you that it was written at a time when I'd spent a lot of time in West Africa. I'd spent a lot of time in Sierra Leone and post-war Sierra Leone, and I'd made really, really close relationships, really close friendships there. But the war, there was a horrible, terrible civil war for many, many years there, and it had really scarred the country, and everyone wanted to leave, and which is valid, it's a valid sensation, but it was also this kind of, at the same time, we were hearing these stories of like people working in these horrible conditions in the tomato farms in Spain, and ending up in these shanty towns, and then people trying to make crossings and dying, and people getting like just the awful conditions and the awful situations that people face when they have to make these drastic journeys. um, and they face losing their lives, and I was kind of thinking, gosh, we've done so well in the West to paint this picture of the glory lands, of the promised land of El Dorado, and it really isn't that. And um, I mentioned to you as well that I had gone to China to do a photography project, looking at African migrants in China, and I met person after person and usually it was young men, who traveled to China and basically got unstuck there and couldn't make their way back. But their pride made them, every time they spoke to their families, they'd be like, everything's great, everything's great, everything's fine, but it wasn't. And half of the time they were trapped because they didn't have the money to buy a return ticket, or they, you know, And so again, it was this thing of this, this promised land of them reinforcing this, this false narrative, and really thinking we have so much work to do back on the continent. We have so much need, and again, it's like this difficult conversation where obviously people want to better themselves, and they should have every right to better themselves. They should have a right to be able to expand their economic horizons or their educational horizons, or to move freely should they wish to, where they see there's a better opportunity for themselves and their families. But also it was this kind of like pull towards this place that didn't exist, you know. And so that's what this song is about, really, which is not a nutshell explanation at all. It's like an essay explanation, so I apologize for the length of it. Yeah.
We're here for every bit and every nuance of this conversation, because I think it's important. Otherwise, like one of the things I feel, and I just want to share it, is today when I really had to debate what I was going to put as the place that I was coming from, because it's more oftenly known as Oroville, but the village is actually Kuilapalyam. And I said, nobody in this room might actually know Kuilapalyam. And I said, but it's my, like, that's the native name. And so I took the decision. I said, yeah, maybe the 41 of us in the room, and whoever's listening on the live stream will now know this name, and we've done one step towards decolonizing some of these narratives and choices. So
Yeah, for sure. And I think that is the main thing, isn't it? It's about the decolonization and the embracing of our own narratives and our own names, our own stories, the whole thing, you know. Um, and if a choice is made, to move, let it be from a place of pride, um, of the place that you are from, rather than some other sentiment, I think. Yeah.
thank you, Ms. Namvula. You were also mentioning that you're starting a residency soon. Do you want to say anything about that before we dive into the song again?
Well, I've been accepted onto an artist development program, which is a really nice space to kind of think through what I want to do creatively, and I've been really sitting a lot with the thought of what memory is, and how memories shape us and make us, and what we remember, what we don't remember, what happens when we don't remember. And my father has basically been diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, so I think it's been with the process of navigating that and trying to understand what that means. And I just mention it because I think at some point it's going to involve other people's memories. So I might reach out to the Daily Antidote community for I don't know. I don't know what it will be yet, but at some point you might hear from me asking me to share a poignant photo from the past or a poignant memory. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, thank you for this, and good luck for everything that's coming up. And celebrate the here and the now. We'd love to sing this song with you again, if you can take us through it.
Indeed. So we can join in with the Maweo and the Vona bit. And we will start together with Maweo. Here we go. Maweo, Maweo, Maweo. Maweo, Maweo, Maweo. Maweo, Maweo, Maweo. Maweo, Maweo, Maweo. Vanyoko, valila nyanyan, shishila vanyumfwa. Kumilonga, mumapiri mulundu. Wakuyandola, somi tabakuchani. Vanyoko, valila nyanyan, shishila vanyumfwa. Kumilonga, mumapiri mulundu. Wakuyandola, somi tabakuchani. Sombi tabakuchani. Maweo, 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 Maweo. Koshiri kuno, shonsei shoyanda, koshiri kuno. Aqualo kuno, kulishi wotu, aqualo kuno. Utochi chila kuli utochi chilanchi, chinchi choyanda kuchana kuya. Chinchi, chinchi choyanda kuchana kuya. Chinchi utochi chila kuli utochi chilanchi, chinchi choyanda kuchana kuya. Chinchi, chinchi choyanda kuchana kuya. Chinchi, Maweo, 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 Maweo. Lekankwambile, lekankwambile. Shinteshi shibotu yonse kuba sukumwi. Nincho yandisha kuyaga bigalo wa umwi. Shinteshi shibotu yonse kuba sukumwi. Nincho yandisha kuyaga bigalo wa umwi. Bona koshiri kuno shanse shoyanda bona. Aqualo kuno kulishi botu bona. Koshiri kuno shanse shoyanda bona. Aqualo kuno kulishi botu. Aqualo kuno kulishi botu. Bona mwanangu, bona bona, bona mkwesu, bona bona. 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 Bona mwanangu, bona bona, bona mkwesu, bona bona.
Let's give it up for Namvula, everyone. Thank you so much for your song. Thank you so much for the reflections. It's day 1634 of the Daily Antidote, brought to you by Carpe Diem Arts, and especially on days when we have such rich and nuanced conversation that sometimes spills over. I'm even more grateful for everyone in the room who has co-held this conversation and with your presence and your spirit. So as you give it up once more for Namvula, please give it up for yourselves and for holding these conversations and these things in our heart and learning and unlearning collectively. So much power and gratitude. Okay, coming up this week, we have Elise Witt tomorrow and Gathering Sparks and Irene Espiritu and Katie Carr to round up the week. Please spread the word and see you in the room. To Namvula, thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for your presence in both hosting and song. To everyone on the live stream, wherever you are in the world, gratitude for being here. Have a blessed day. To everyone in the room, to Joe for always holding the behind the scenes, to Pauline and Dad in Newcastle, to Susan in Cincinnati, Arlene in Berkeley, Sue in Seattle, thank you for being here, Kathy in Colorado, Benny in Berkeley, Ruth in Birmingham, thank you for being here, to Carolyn in DC, Jane, Texas May, to Hoda in BC, Deborah in Kentucky, thank you for being here, To Annette in California, Sheila in Still Dry, Florida. You can take some rain from Kulapalliam. To Phil and Felicity in Exeter. Uh, uh, thank you for being here. To the Bears and Bob and Mabel, thank you for being here. To David and Elsie in Oakland, thank you for being here. Anne in Nashville, Julie in Ontario, Linda on Orcas Island, thank you for being here. To Bob in Albany, Jamie in Victoria, Delhi in Maryland, Fred in Silver Spring, thank you for being here. To Gary in Massachusetts, Tom in Massachusetts, Laris in the UK, Nancy in Washington State, Diane in Massachusetts, Elizabeth in California, thank you for being here. To Carolyn in Idaho, Aloysius in Massachusetts, Carol in Connecticut, Kat Cox in Vermont, Cliff in Vermont, LMG in Connecticut. Thank you for being here. See you tomorrow for day 1635.